You had a great idea, but when you want to speak up, the words suddenly disappeared. You wanted to approach someone you find attractive, but you froze up and watched the opportunity just vanish. You were hanging out with a group of friends and you desperately wanted to join the conversation, but you couldn't find the right moment to speak up. Because of these repeated struggles, you've started to put yourself in a box, convincing yourself that you are just inherently unconfident. But what if I told you that all those feelings and missed opportunities have one thing in common, which is resistance? The thing that is holding you back. Now imagine a pipe. When the pipe is new, the water flows through it strongly, clearly, and fast. There is nothing restricting the flow, but over time, debris, rust, and mineral deposits accumulate inside the pipe. The output, the strong flow of water, slows down. It becomes small, hesitant, and weak. The problem is not the water itself. The water is still there. The problem is the blockage. And yes, just like that clogged kitchen pipe you've been avoiding under your sink, this is exactly what happens with confidence. The water is your confidence. The pipe is you. If you want the water to flow strongly again, you actually have two approaches. One, you can pump harder. This is the popular method society oftentimes tells you, such as fake it till you make it, or just be confident. You know what I mean? Some people binge watch all those online videos on how to walk like an alpha male, how to speak with charisma, or even how to sit in a dominant and masculine pose, which encourages you to take up space. But here's the funny part, even though this method might work, you probably end up walking like you want to get hit and sitting like a douchebag. Whereas the second method is just simply remove the blockage. This approach is rarely talked about, yet the more realistic, natural, and controllable path. Just think about it. When you were born, you had no reason to be insecure about. Even if you were an ugly baby with horrible voice when crying, you wouldn't realize it. You had no reason to feel insecure until you eventually start to experience many things. You started thinking, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not funny, I'm not smart, I can't make friends because nobody likes me, I can't get any work done, I can't speak in public, and so on. Luckily, the process to become removing your insecurities is actually pretty easy. You can follow this practical framework that I've created, and surprisingly, this method actually does work. Step 1. List your insecurities. You can try to think about the specific things that make you the least confident. For example, public speaking. Start conversations with strangers in the public space. I feel ugly, and so on. Now moving on the second step, which is finding the root causes of your insecurities. Dig deeper. Why are you not confident doing those specific activities? The root cause might be more than one. But for simplicity, let's say you want to analyze the root cause of your fear of one of the previous examples, which is public speaking. Now ask, why am I afraid of public speaking? Oh, it turns out there are two reasons. Firstly, you're afraid that people would give a bad response, and secondly, you're afraid that you would deliver a bad performance. Now, we have to dig even deeper. We must ask, why are those two fears valid? What is the evidence? It turns out both fears share a common root in the past. People used to laugh at you when delivering a speech. This point is important because it validates your current fears. Why did the laughing happen? It all converges on one single cause. People used to laugh at you because you didn't have proper verbal and body language technique in public speaking. And if you think about it, one primary reason of your lack of public speaking skill is your fear in public speaking itself, making you do less practice, continuing the toxic cycle. Step 3. Breaking the cycle. Now this is the most important part. How do you ensure that past experience no longer has the power to clog you up? You need to break the cycle. By learning and keep practicing public speaking techniques, your speech would get better and people wouldn't laugh at you anymore. Consequently, both of the fears would not be relevant anymore, and ultimately, you fear in public speaking would be gone. The key is to seek out new evidence that consistently replaces the old belief or thought from, I will be laughed at, to, oh, they're not laughing, and soon you won't be that afraid to speak in public again.